Hello and welcome to Progressive Education Society's Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigri, Pune. Myself, Dr. Bhushan Pimpre. In this video, we will discuss about the plants that cause hay fever, allergy, or idiosyncrasy. Besides, we will also focus upon the method of preparation of allergenic extracts and their applications in diagnosis and treatment. Let us start with the plants that cause hay fever, allergy, or idiosyncrasy. Now, first, what is hay fever? It is a condition that is characterized by inflammation of nose, which occurs because of the overreaction of immune system to an allergen, and generally these allergens are airborne allergens. Hay fever is also referred to as allergenic rhinitis or pollinosis because mostly the airborne allergens are pollen grains. The common symptoms are redness or itchy and watery eyes, then sneezing, congestion in the nasal mucosa, or also runny nose. It is also characterized by itchiness or sore throat, which we commonly refer to as a pharyngitis, and cough. Besides, itchy ear or buzzing or tinkling sound in the ear can also be one of the symptoms. So these are the common symptoms for hay fever. The plants that are causing these kind of allergenic responses are broadly categorized as trees or grasses and weeds. So first we'll have a look at the trees. Early spring trees like American elm or slippery elm, these are very commonly found to cause hay fever. Besides, silver maple and red maple are also responsible for causing the hay fever. All the pollen grains derived from these plants are causing hay fever, and most of these plants they show their pollinosis during early spring, whereas certain late spring trees are also there which give out their pollen grains after the spring or during the end of the spring season. So like paper birch, sweet birch, white oak, or red oak, these are the trees that give out the pollen grains during the end of the spring season. Now grasses such as Cynodon dactylan, that is doob grass, then orchard grass, Johnson grass, and red top grass. These are very commonly found in most of the gardens, and they give out their pollen grains throughout the year. So that can cause hay fever in most of the individuals. Besides, mostly the pollen grains are at a high concentration in the atmosphere during generally February to June season. Then weeds, very common weeds such as yellow dock, sheep sorrel, or lamb squatter and Mexican tea. These kind of weeds are also found in India and most of the Asian countries. And the farmers which are cultivating their crops do experience or get exposed to such kind of weeds. So most of them can show such kind of hay fever. Now we'll have a look at the production of allergenic extract. We have to prepare allergenic extract, and the reason for this is allergenic extract serves two purposes. First, it is used for the diagnosis of a specific allergy, and also it can be used in the treatment of the same allergy or treatment of this allergy derived from the same allergen. So in this preparation, we need the crude drug, like say suppose pollen grains, birch pollen grains, paper birch pollen grains. Now these pollen grains are to be collected, and then these pollen grains serve as crude drug material for the extraction. So these pollen grains are to be checked for authenticity, whether they are derived from the same plant. Then they are powdered finely and dried at a temperature not exceeding 60 degrees Celsius. So once you are drying them, you get the dehydrated powder, which is free from water now. Such dehydrated powder needs to be first eliminated. The oil or the fat in this powder is to be eliminated with the help of either petroleum ether or N-hexane. So you can carry out the extraction in a Soxhlet apparatus and extract it with petroleum ether or N-hexane, so that you take away the fats or sterols or fatty moiety, because these are not allergens in them. Now you are left with the defatted mark. Now mark means the material that is present in the thimble, present in the Soxhlet apparatus right now. That mark is to be taken out, or the material that is remaining after extraction is called as the mark or residue. This mark is free from fats or oils. Such mark is to be dried, air dried. Then the petroleum ether and N-hexane, when it goes away from the defatted mark, this defatted mark is to be extracted with an aqueous solvent. Now here the aqueous solvent means you need to take a specific solvent that should be water used for this aqueous extraction should be sterile, pyrogen free, buffered and saline solution. So this is very important criteria, because water what you are using can also incorporate certain impurities into the extract, or sometimes it can introduce pyrogens into the extract. And since we are using these extracts for as a parenteral preparation, we are injecting them into the patient. So the extraction should be carried out with this particular solvent. Additionally, the extraction should be carried out in dark room, because most of the allergens are photosensitive and can cause different kind of reactions, or can alter their physical or chemical properties. Now, once you get this aqueous extract is dilute solution. So you need to filter it with the help of charcoal in order to take out certain pigments or coloring matters through it. Also, the filtrate of this charcoal filtrate should be passed through dialyzing membrane in order to remove certain impurities or irritants that can be very harmful if injected directly. And then lastly, it should be concentrated, but the temperature should not exceed 60 degree, as again the if you increase the temperature, allergenic property of the extract will be lost, because most of the allergens are thermolabile. So while concentrating, it should be concentrated in a vacuum evaporator or in a vacuum oven. So you have a concentrated extract. This concentrated extract still has some amount of moisture in it. So there are chances that it can attract fungus or mold or bacterial growth can occur on this. So in order to preserve it or store it, this concentrated extract needs to be subjected for lyophilization, wherein you get a freeze-dried extract. This freeze-dried extract can be stored in deep freezer for prolonged duration for years. You can store it in deep freezer, but essentially it should be lyophilized and stored. Alternatively, the freeze-dried product can directly be reconstituted by addition of some amount of saline solution, saline buffer solution, and then can be administered or injected into the patient. So this is the method or protocol for generation or development of allergenic extracts. Once you have got the allergenic extract, as we have seen, it solves two purposes. First is it is helpful in diagnosis. That means to determine whether the person is suffering from exactly what kind of allergen. Because there in an atmosphere you can find numerous types of pollen grains. So a person can be allergic to only a particular pollen grain. So in order to determine what is that pollen grain, we need to perform this diagnosis, which involves skin scratch or sometimes called as prick test, wherein small allergenic doses are injected subcutaneously, and there are range of certain various different allergens that are injected. Now, depending upon the symptoms, the physician identifies roughly or shortlists certain allergens, and then he tries to inject one by one certain allergens. So after injection, the appearance of the symptoms are checked. In this, firstly, in order to provoke a small, controlled allergenic response to determine which specific allergens are causing the symptoms, a very small amount is injected subcutaneously, and the reaction, if any, are reported. Later on, sometimes the blood antibodies developed by the individual against a particular antigen are taken out, and those are recorded. The test for antibodies are also recorded. But care should be taken that while carrying out such kind of diagnosis, the facility wherein you are carrying out this diagnosis should be equipped with cardiopulmonary resuscitation facility, because there are chances that certain hypersensitive individuals can show very excessive reactions, or sometimes it can prove to be fatal to that patient. So cardiopulmonary resuscitation facility is very necessary in order to carry out the diagnosis as well as the treatment. About the treatment, once you have diagnosed the patient is suffering from, say, suppose pollen grain of paper birch, then only those pollen grain extract of paper birch is administered. This is called as specific immunotherapy, and this goes on the line of it follows the lines of vaccination. As in case of vaccination, we introduce the metabolites or attenuated virus of the disease causing virus or pathogen. Even that is introduced into the vaccine. On the same grounds, this also works out. The administration of gradually or slow increasing doses of a particular allergen to which the patient is allergic is administered over a period of time. It can range from months to years. Normally, the schedule followed is 1 as to 500 concentration. That means one part of the allergenic extract is diluted 500 times, and this is administered twice a week for 3 months. So suppose if you start the schedule on 1st of January, so up to 31st of March, only two doses per week are administered to the patient, and the dose generally is of 1 ml, and the first concentration will be of this dilution, that is 1 as to 500. Second is second concentration is 1 part diluted to 100 part of water or sterile pyrogen free buffer saline solution, and this is administered once a week for next 3 months. That means from April to June, this particular dosage regimen is followed. Next, 1 as to 50. One part is diluted only to 50 parts of the water and then administered monthly once for 3 months. That means July onwards till September 30. So only one dose per month is administered. Again, the dose is 1 ml. And if uh, required, another such kind of dose can be administered once in a month for another 3 months. So you can uh, correlate that there are almost the treatment, it ranges from 9 months to 12 months, or sometimes up to it may cross 1 year as well. So this is a very slow process for the treatment. Here, the mechanism of action of this allergen is it increases the antibody formation, and these antibody are specifically directed against the injectant allergen. That means in our case, paper birch allergen, which is generally IgG antibody, and it is well known as blocking antibody. These antibodies are generated by the patient's body. Later, the patient who develops higher amount of these blocking antibodies have less symptoms than those who develop low titers of these value. So it is required for a patient to develop more amount of this blocking antibody titers. Then only it can be said that the treatment has been effective in that particular patient. So this is all about plant allergens.